Alright, so good morning everyone. I hope you guys having a good time. Yes, good morning Desmond. Welcome to episode 118. Alright, so I want to first make sure that you guys are hearing me properly. So let me first sort out this mic for you. Let's see if it needs to be increased or not. Alright, I hope there it is okay. I hope there you can hear me properly. Yeah, I hope it is very okay. I want you guys to be able to hear me properly, and we continue from where we stopped at on Friday. All right, so that's it. I think my mic now is clear. So let's start. You know the drill, guys. You know that we start with a prayer and then get into the analysis as usual. So let's pray and get started. Father, we thank you. We thank you for your goodness, for your loving kindness. Thank you for last week, for the profits that you gave unto us. Thank you even for the beautiful morning that you've just given us. As we start the new week, Lord, we are saying thank you. And as we start today's session, we said, we ask of your goodness, we ask of your knowledge and wisdom, we ask of your great insights to be part of us, Lord. We ask that the signals that we get, Lord, they will be profitable. We will make money, not lose money, because you are the God who has all success, who gives us victory, who gives us success, Lord. And that's why we've come to this session, to these markets, to have a good success, even as we are making money online. We give you praise for the profits, and we are saying thank you. Thank you for the profits throughout this whole week as we come to the last days of this month, Lord. We ask your great success to be part of us, to be among us. We give you praise, we love you. In Jesus' name we've prayed. Amen. Amen. All right. As usual, you know the drill. Let's get to Crush 500 and start off Monday. So, Crush 500. So on Friday, we were looking for the sale. That's what we were looking for, right there. And I told you we had this kind of support area down below. We were looking for price to get to that level and then bring us into sales. That's what happened. There's this fair value gap that also price would have to first mitigate, and it went all the way there to mitigate it. So that was enough. So we needed to sell this to come all the way down below. Yeah, so I hope you guys were able to get that entry. Of course, this was a short entry. We would have gone for, I think I would have gone for this, which is Saturday. I don't trade Saturday. Yeah, I think I would have gone for that on Saturday. Then it went back, and this would have been another entry on Sunday. This would have been another entry on Sunday, but I don't trade on Sunday and Saturday, so I could not get these two moves on that asset. All right, so now it has come back to this support level, but I believe it should break it right now. Why? Because you can see the previous two candles of H4 and the current one. You can see price rejection coming in from sellers. They are pushing, they are refusing buyers to come in. So you can see that rejection. That tells us that sellers have gained the momentum, meaning they are going to push to even break this support level. Down below here we have the other point of interest, which is an order block down here, meaning price is likely to break and come to this level. Remember, according to H4 we are still looking for sells, even though H1 says we need buys, but daily time frame also needs sells. So if we break here, if we break this level, then we will have a breakout. We'll be having a confirmed downtrend on daily time frame. Price is below our 10 EMA, which is a good thing. H4 we already want sells. H1 is the one which is tricky, looking at what I'm seeing on the signal coming in from CCI and RSI down below. It is oversold, meaning buyers are trying to push, but we need to confirm with M15. Still same thing given on M15. M15 is following what H1 is showing us currently. So for us to actually enter sales, we have to wait for M15 to sell. Because M15 has to be following what H4 has is following. So M15 is not yet ready to sell, so we have to wait for M15 to start selling, then we can come in with our sales, and I believe it's when we will see the breakout. But up to now, right now we cannot enter any sales because of what we've just seen. So let me go to H1. I see. So according to H1, this would be considered as a change of character right there. Then downtrend, we saw a break of structure, then this is sort of failing to give us a break of structure. So the anticipation is very simple here. Price to try and to come and try to take these highs where we saw the change of character. These were the equal highs up there. So it's likely to come and try to take out those equal highs, and then we later come in with the sell that will probably take out this support level. Those highs there, because I don't see a fair value gap left back, any liquidity left back apart from that one up there after grabbing the liquidity on this other fair value gap here. All right, so are we going to see that? We have to wait for price to be above our 10 MA. So M30, M15, H1, they are all pointing to buys, so we have to wait for this kind of a move. This kind of a move is likely coming around, is about to come around. Now, in the process of going for this move, there's this confluence area. Price can decide to come to that, and it fails to go all the way up there. You need to know also that that's a confluence area right there. So you need to understand this. But most of the times we always see price go to look for the stop losses of the early sellers above those highs where we have the change of character. It normally goes all the way up to try and take those highs out, but it will fail and then come down. Most of the cases, most times it does that. It does not come to this confluence area, but we cannot overlook this confluence area right here where it played around here. So that's why I've marked it, just in case it decides to move from this level to give us the sales. All right, that's enough on crash 500. Let's go to boom 1000. Just a minute. So boom 1000, Boom 1000, let's see, we were looking for a pullback. That was last week, so we never saw that pullback. The price continued in an uptrend. You can see that higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Here right now, it's what we have. So the sell move hasn't started yet, even though we know we are overbought. Look at the rejection coming in from sellers. Yeah, up to now we are still getting rejection, but this rejection won't mean anything to us if price gives us a breakout above there. Yeah, that rejection won't mean anything unless it becomes a fake breakout. Up there is that liquidity on that order block, on that fair value gap right there. I need to let me show it to you right there. That is a fair value gap right there. So price may first want to grab that liquidity before it gives us this pullback that we've been waiting for so long. So what do I do? What do we do right here? I'd say it's a no-go for me. I can't trade something like this. This is a fair value gap right there. Price may first try to mitigate it before it gives us a downtrend to get the liquidity that was left back. I want to remind you that according to according to weekly time frame, we are in an uptrend. We are in an uptrend according to CCI down below, but that uptrend is very tricky. Why do I say that? This was like a change of character according to the weekly right there. We have a high, we failed to get a new high, price came and broke that previous higher low, and it gave us this as a lower low. So this is tricky. This is very tricky. So that's why I'm skeptical. Price is likely to first mitigate that fair value gap there, and then we drop to look for a new lower low according to weekly time frame. So be careful with how you trade this, knowing that the trend is not clear yet. The change of character on the weekly time frame is not yet confirmed. Yeah, but clearly that move was very good to confirm the change of character. We need sales to confirm the lower high here, then you can come in with sales. So according to daily, we are oversold. You know that. That's why we've been overbought. That's why we've been looking for sales. According to H4, same thing, and you can see the rejection coming from sellers. Price on H1 is below a 10 MA, but not clear. I cannot enter. Why? Because it can easily try to go for this 50% of this fair value gap, just around there. Just around there. Price can first try to get there, and then we come in with sales. So for now, I wouldn't do what? I wouldn't risk anything here. So let me delete this. Let me delete that. You see, my first anticipation was price to get there as a fake breakout, then we come in with a sell on that very change of character line. So that's likely to be our moment to sell. So bring this here, have it there. These ones first, take them out. Take that out. Take this out. That out. All right, so that's it. That's it. I don't have any business with Boom 1000 till further notice, until I see something clear that I can use. So for now, no business. I will wait for reach on sells, not buys. you can see buyers on M15 are still in control, so still very tricky. Still very tricky. Still very tricky. All right, so that's what I see there. Still very tricky. It's giving us those small buy movements. It's giving us those small buy movements. So I wouldn't dare do anything else than looking for buys apparently, but still the buy would be short-lived. Probably would need to work out the buy in the M5, of which the buy on M5 is about to start. Yeah, is about to start, so it's likely to come to this level right here. It's likely to come to that on M5, then gives you that kind of a move to push for the buy. It will spike there. So for the buy, it's still on according to M5, M15, and of course H1. We've already H1. Wait a minute. H1 now says sells, but we are still looking for buys on M15 and M30. So we are still looking for that. Just like I've told you, it's likely to come to try to mitigate this order block, or to go to all the way that trend line that I put, which is the change of character trend line. So we wait for all that. All right, that's enough. I will leave it on M5. Let's now go to Boom 500. So Boom 500, we wait, what is happening here? Let's see. Daily time frame, we're looking for sales. So what happened here? So I was looking for the pullback there. Okay, so it happened on Friday. Yeah, that pullback to reach our sort of a TP did not reach exactly, but it reached that high there. You can see it reached it to mitigate those highs there, and then continue in the sell. So that's what we were looking at, and it happened on Friday. Then Saturday, delete that. Then Saturday, we saw sales come in. We saw sellers come in. Now on starting with sales, this is what we saw: the change of character according to H1, which actually gave you a confirmation of such kind there, to which came, you can see it came to grab liquidity on that fair value gap. And then after that, you can see the sale came through all the way to almost closing the day of Saturday. It sold perfectly on Saturday. That was a good sale on Saturday there. So we now know that. But then yesterday, you can see it came to this, you can call it what? You can call it a conference area, whatever you want to call it. It came to that. It came to this level where we were seeing this conference area. What is this? H4? Yeah. It came to that. And it gave us a fake breakout down below, and then the buy came through. When you go to H1, you can see still the same thing. it went all the way to this level. As we speak, that's where the sales are coming from. Now we need to look at it on H4. On H4, the buy is still looking fresh on H4, but yet daily time frame we need sales. So what is it going to be? Looking at yesterday's candle, it was a good perfect buy. You can see yesterday was a good perfect buy. I want to delete these two, that on that, and actually even this, delete all those. I wanted sales from that angle there. That's where I wanted to sell from, right about there. So why am I still looking for sales? All right, so I want to have something like this right here, right there, and this right here. So what is happening here? What is happening here? I have the low, the high, and low. It's gonna go there for the high. It's crazy. This is crazy. It's still consolidating according to daily time frame until H4 comes to overbought. Till H4 is overbought to start selling. So if that's the case, then we know that H1 is also selling. We can see that. I mean, it's also buying. Even M30, I believe M15 is what is remaining to get into the buy, because we are going to keep buying this asset. So until M15 gets into the buy momentum, we can't buy. So we have to wait for buys to come through on M15. So CCI shows that this M15 is looking for sales according to where we see it. So how am I going to trade this? This could be taken as a change of character or fake change of character, depending on what will happen. If price fails to break this level right here, then it will be a change of character to actually push for more sales. Yeah, but then, oh yes, it has two. Why? Because it left some liquidity down here on M15, and I believe even H1 we will be able to see that that is a fair value gap that it left back. So my anticipation is price to come to that, grab that liquidity on fair value gap, then push for the buys to take us back to that trend line. That is my simple anticipation on this asset, Boom 500, and we are about to start this sell. So let's wait for a new H4 candle to start. I believe we should be getting into sales on this new H4 candle. You can see this same thing is the same on H4. You can see it is the same even on H4. It has to come grab that liquidity. It's a fair value gap even on H4. So be knowing that it cannot just leave it like that. It has to come mitigate it. So this current H4 that is coming, I mean the coming H4, it has to do this. So as a new H4 starts, I'm not going to hesitate to make the entry of sales. Oh wait, boom, M5 will not be giving me that support that I need to enter that sell. So that means I will wait for M5 to give me the entry to sell this asset. It may first try to look for a wick up there and then later gives us that sell. So for now, no business. Wait on M15. That is on boom 500. Let's now head over to volatility 25s. Vol 25s. So volatility 25 1s. All right, so the breakout happened. Those who remember, I told you on Friday that if price breaks this trend line, don't hesitate to make the entry. You have to make the entry immediately. Unfortunately, I don't trade on Saturdays, so I was unable to make that entry. You can see this is Sunday, this is Saturday. The breakout happened on the Saturday evening. You can see it happened around, let's see, what time was it when it gave us this breakout? That was around 21, 22, 23, midnight, Saturday midnight. That's when it gave us this breakout, Saturday midnight, and then Sunday started all through down below. So this would have been your entry, immediate. Such moves, you don't wait for any pullback. Once it breaks, you immediately, after that candle closes, you immediately enter. You don't have to wait. As long as the candle like this closes outside, that is enough. That would have been your entry right on that candle there. All right, so we missed that, but already I had told you, don't hesitate to make an entry if you see a breakout, and that's what we saw there on Saturday. Now apparently you can see the previous 3 days there have been sells. Saturday, Sunday, and even today has started as a sell day. Down below here where price is reaching, we can see clearly that there is gonna be some rejection. There's gonna be some rejection. Let me show it to you right here. There's gonna be that rejection right there. It's sort of like a support. Where we are there. Are we going to see a pullback from this level? We may not. When price reaches here, we may not see that. So be ready for anything. That is a fair value gap there on H4. Price can first come to mitigate it, and then gets enough momentum to break this support. Gets enough momentum to break that support. So for now, let's see if we can be able to sell it actually. H1, no, it's looking for buys. M15, yeah, yes, sells, but there's that level, it's failing to break it, so we are likely not to. It's almost reaching it, so let's wait, we see what happens. The next H4 can first give us this week as a week, then later gives us the buy to push for this level. So be ready for that. The next 4 has actually started, so it's likely to push down here and then up. Let's go to M15, M5. Okay, M5 says buys, but not that clear still, so it's a bit unclear for us, so we don't have to force it. Let's wait and see if it is going to reach this support level. But remember, buys are on. We need to see this pullback buy, then later we sell it according to H4. All right, enough of that. Let's now head over to V. Let's head over to V75. Just a minute. V75. All right, so V75, we wanted price to get there. You remember that we wanted price to get there, then we come in with sells, and I believe we are ready for that sell. You can see after reaching that level, it strongly started to sell. Those who were following this analysis from last week, you know that, you know this, that we've been following this like that. And you can see after that, look at the previous H4 and look at now the current H4, how it has started. It is likely not to give us even any week. I don't believe we should be waiting actually to sell this. I don't believe we should be waiting. Let me see if we have a confirmation on lower time frame. Wow, we missed that already. We missed that clean entry already. This entry was supposed to be right there. That was around what time today? That was around that was around, let's see, 8, 9, 10, at 10 today. That's when we're supposed to make that entry. According to M15, we're supposed to make that entry at 10. That was our perfect entry for this kind of a sell move. So apparently I cannot enter it. Yes, a new H4 has started, but it is a bit too late, unless if I want to risk. If I put my entry there, that means my stop loss has to be above that candle. I cannot risk much than that. You cannot risk beyond that. Yeah, if I'm to enter this asset, I cannot risk beyond that. So having seen this, I don't think I'll be entering, because this new H4 has just started. It can easily become a pullback, then later we sell. It can easily become that. So yeah, it's a bit tricky for anyone. It's a bit tricky. You can see that it has left a lot of fair value gaps up there. It has left that liquidity up there, so it can easily look for that liquidity actually before it gives us continuation of sales. So bear that in mind and don't risk. It's not worth it. This trade is not worth it. It's not worth it. All right, that's enough. I can't say much more than that on this asset. Remember, we want price to come here and give us a fake breakout, then we get in with buys. That's what we want. Then we can get in with buys. That's what we want. So till then, no business. No business. No business. Now we can delete these two. We remain with this move, which is apparently the one we are on, and then later we come with that. All right. Jump 50. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have never subscribed before, go ahead and give us that subscription. It means a lot to me. Go ahead and even like, or give us hit that like button, and we continue to trade together. Jump 50. All right, so jump 50, we we have a breakout. The previous move, those who remember on Friday, I told you we wanted this move to reach there to that high, and then probably we get to see some sells, but the momentum was much than that. I mean, the market movers decided to look for stop losses of the early sellers up there, so they gave us a break of structure. After giving us that break of structure, look at what happened. Price came down and then went back up and then started to sell today. So let's look at how it went in days. So this was Friday here, Saturday, Sunday. So we never saw this move on Friday. It actually went ahead and gave us a fake breakout down below, but in doing that, it sort of created like a heads and shoulder, an inverted heads and shoulder. Looking at that, it sort of created like an inverted heads and shoulder, and this here was like the neckline right there. And look at that, what came after the buy without any interruption. This would have been our TP, first TP. You can see immediate target right there. That would have been our target, and then we move out, of which that was our level. You can see that, and that would have been a perfect trade on Saturday. But I don't trade on Saturday, so I couldn't go for that kind of trade. But if I had traded on Saturday, this would have been a trade that I would not have missed. So delete all this. Now today, let's look at today. So today, let's go to H4. This was a break of structure right about there. That was a break of structure right there, and we can see price now is in a sell movement. We are overbought on H4, meaning sales are coming in. We are also overbought on daily time frame, meaning sellers are coming in, but we have no confirmation to actually make any entries yet. So that means we are likely to see some consolidation around these areas. We're likely to see some consolidation around these areas. So we are likely to see some consolidation around these areas before price breaks and continues to sell. Mark that and know it is likely to happen. You can see what I'm talking about even on M15. M15 is going to come here and then gives us the buys to come all the way up there. And they are likely not to break that level. They are likely to come down again after reaching that level. So know that anticipation of a consolidation is on. All right, so having said that, you can wait for a confirmation probably in the next minutes, a few minutes, then you get in with your buys. Remember, don't enter any buys on M15 if price is below your 10 MA. You rather wait and you don't risk much. So I can't enter until my price is below, is above my 10 MA for the buys. Jump 25. Jump 25. Buy is on. Let's look at what we were looking for on Saturday, on Friday. So this is Sunday, Saturday, Friday. So Friday we wanted that, of which it happened from this very level. It never happened on this level, it happened on that level to go back up. So all these now can go, and it went up, and now after reaching that level on that point here, on this point here, the sell began. It went up here to grab this liquidity right there on that fair value gap, and the sell began strongly. So now you can delete that. After beginning there on H1, we saw break of structure. We saw break of structure right there. That was a wee bit weird, even that a bit weird. This was a clear one, and now that was a break of structure, and then the sell came through. So going to H4, you clearly see that price was coming back to that support, EMAs, that support level according to daily time frame. And I told you, once it comes here, we are looking for price to go all the way up there. According to daily, according to H4, we never reached that level. According to daily, that should be, this is like a breakout, but then down here you have a support, so it has to come to look for the lower high here, of which it never reached it. It came to that level. Let's go to weekly. What are we looking at weekly? Weekly, we are looking for a downtrend, so that's what makes sense. That's why this move, let me zoom in, that's why that move right there is very important. There is that fair value gap that needs to mitigate right there. In fact, let me mark that, delete that. So that fair value gap right there is what needs to be mitigated. So this right there is what I need to see mitigated. So until then, our business with this asset really. So I need to delete these. This is what? This is H4. H4, we are looking for buys, so why can't we enter now? Let's come and see. Why can't we enter? Why can't we enter now? Looking at H1, I have a confirmation of the buy. Price is above my 10 MA, so what is holding me back? M15. M15 is the signal coming in from RSI and CCI is a bit weird, but it is not. I don't see why I can't enter buys here. Let me make my entry. I've made my entry. My stop loss has to be all the way down here. This is an entry according to M5, but you can take it as an entry according to H1 and even put your stop loss below this 10 MA. So I've entered the buy. And I'll be looking for my first TP probably around there. But also you can look for your a swing trade. You can look for your swing trade to get where? To get all the way up there. That will be your swing trade. If you're one of those who love swinging, then you can wait for it to get all the way up there. That will be your swing trade to reach all the way there. Remember, this is jump. It can easily jump in 2-3 days and it is there. It can also jump in, let's see, the past 2 days. Yeah, you can see 1, 2, 3 days it was down here. So in about 3-4 days it can easily reach there, depending on what you want. So that could be your swing trade to push all the way up there for that kind of a move. This is jump 25. So we have entered a buy. I didn't see any reason why we could hold, so the buy is on. All right, that's it. Remember, we don't want to, you can take, actually you can go for that, or you can go for this here, as your TP, first TP. If you're a swing trader, you can go for this as your first TP. If you're an intraday trader, If you're an intraday trader, I've told you your first TP should be here, this level right here, that level right there, that should be your first TP. Yeah. All right, enough of that. Let's now move to jump 10. Jump 10. We have about 10 minutes remaining. Let's go for jump 10 as we try to wind up. So J10 on Friday we entered that sell, which was a bit, I was taken out. Yeah, that sell there, we entered that sell. He was taken out. I was taken out a bit early, then it moved back up, then it sold again, and then made some consolidation for like an hour or two, and then sold much more. Remember, we were looking at price. Remember, we were looking at price coming to this trend line. We are looking at price coming to this trend line. So price never actually responded to that. It broke that trend line and continued down below, all the way coming back to that trend line, and that was on Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, Saturday the buy started, and it was confirmed with this change of character on H1. And look at that move, bought all the way up there, and it started to try to come back into sales late to yesterday, around late evening. All right, so now that we know all this, let's first delete all these here. Deleted a trend line that I needed. Just deleted a trend line that I needed. I'd go to H4. That's the trend line right there. So now looking at daily time frame, this was a fake breakout. That's why it came back down. So if that was a fake breakout, what does this tell us now? First delete these. According to what I have here, these are equal highs up there, meaning sellers are in control. Price is below a 10 MA on H4, and price is overbought on CCI and RSI down below. Those signals are all pointing to sells. Looking at the rejection, price rejection coming in from sellers, you can see clearly that sellers are trying to take control. Coming to weekly time frame, we are almost reaching the retracement level right there, meaning sellers should be coming in. All right, so come back to daily. Daily says it's not yet overbought, so that's why buys were still the focus. So, and that is a resistance area up there. So why are we not seeing buys? Why are we not seeing buys? I believe we should be seeing buys. Yeah, we should be seeing buys. Should be seeing buys. We should be seeing buys. All right, so if that's the case, I see a sell first. I see a sell first on H1 to do what? That sell should be coming to perfectly mitigate this liquidity. Right here. right there, then go for the buy. So is that the case? Let's understand it a bit more. According to H1, it may not. According to H1, it may not. Let's go to M15, understand this better. M15 says buys are on already. Price is failing to break this level right here, according to M15. So that tells us that we have to be patient, because it's likely to look for something above here that can easily break through this support to continue down below. So for now, no business. There's rejection coming in from buyers on this level here. There's that rejection coming in there. If price goes above my 10 MA, that would be a signal for me to continue with buys. But until then, no business. No business with J10. All right, lastly is gold. Let's talk about gold, and we call it a day. Gold, we made money, not enough though. It kept on, playing games, and I was supposed to make a lot on gold on Friday. So this was the first move. This was the first move here. It went into profits, came and took me out in profits here, almost break even. Then it came down, gave me another entry right there for the buy. These were the two entries actually we made on Friday, jump 10 and gold. So that was another entry. I was when it came to these highs and started to play games, I brought my stop loss into profits and brought it a bit near. I didn't want to lose what I had already made, so just retested, took me out, and look at what happened later. It kept on moving all the way up here to hit. It actually came to my TP level. My TP level was around there, you can see that. So it came to my TP level before the market closed that day. Remember, market closes on Friday, so before the market closed on Friday, it had hit my TP level. There were no much impactful news, so we don't see some weird moves. We did not see some weird moves on Friday, so it was a good trading day on Friday. All right, so now we can take the history off, delete these, and now look at the movement. We wanted buys from here to reach there, and then we come in with sells, but apparently we see that we have a break of structure according to H1, same as on H4, meaning we may not see sells yet, but I'm not ruling out sells according to H4 and daily time frame. But we have a break of structure. We have a break of structure. That's very weird. That's weird. We have to wait for this H4 candle to close. Yeah. You have to wait for this H4 candle to close. In fact, we may not even wait, because according to M15, M30 and H1, we are likely to see sells. If I see a breakout here, that will be enough to confirm that sells are coming in. And of course, I'll be just waiting for the confirmation of this as my change of character. As my change of character on M15. And then the sales begin. So for now, I can't enter buys, neither can I enter sales until I have a clear structure. This H4, current H4, may be a sell candle that can easily give us this confirmation of the reversal on M15. That's it. Let's do the recap and we call it a day. Remember, we always do this every Monday to Friday, analyzing synthetic indices. If it is your first time here, please go ahead and subscribe. And of course, if you've ever subscribed, don't forget, remember that we always have the classes to teach how to trade, or to teach my strategy, how I analyze, whatever I use, whatever I do, whatever you see me do, I teach. And that is the information on your screen right there. And of course, if you want to join the October VIP signal group, then you use that same number to contact me for the signals. All right, we started with crash 500. We need a pullback here. That's what we need, but up to now we haven't gotten a confirmation, so for now, no business. Leave it on M15. Boom 500. Look at that. Look at that. I told you guys. I told you. I hope you guys will trade boom 1000, because I moved away from it. But I told you it's gonna come in here for that fair value gap, and then we come in with buys, and that's what has happened. It has even hit the TP already. So congrats if you did enter that. I moved away from it and I forgot to come back to it after the 5-minute candle, and that's how we missed. I was supposed to leave a limit order there to actually push for that kind of a buy, but you saw that, those who were around when we were discussing boom 1000, that was the anticipation. Come to this and then the buy comes around. All right, so now we don't need this and that, so we can take it out. Let's go to M15. We have a breakout, which it can easily reach that level. Remember, I told you we are still in a buy trend. Price can easily come to that that fair value gap, and then on that very level, and all to that trend line, which is a change of character trend line, then we come down for the sell. So until then, until we see anything like this, we cannot anticipate any sells. The general trend is still a buy. This, I told you, it's likely to continue, and then we come later with a sell, so you have to be patient according to M5. M5 is not yet ready to give us sells. That's why we are waiting. M15 is ready, but M5 is not ready, so we have to wait on M5. M5 is below M15, meaning you have to wait for that bill to the lower time frame to give you the entry. The signal I'm waiting for is price to be oversold up there. Then I don't hesitate to make that sell entry on M15. Yeah, that's what I'll be waiting for. All right, that's enough on boom 500. Boom 1000, I mean V25s, we said we need a pullback there. We are going to see that buy, but before we see that pullback buy, price has to first reach this support level, and it hasn't reached it. That's why this current move is continuing as a sell. I told you that we cannot enter it. It's a tricky one. It's very near. Unless you're a scalper, then you can know that this is your entry now to sell it all the way to reach here. That would be your trade, to sell it all the way to reach here. In fact, why not? Why don't we enter it? Have your stop loss here. You don't have to risk a lot. You have your stop loss here, have your TP here. This is for scalpers. You're looking for your TP right about here when it reaches this trend line. When it reaches this trend line, if it comes there, it will take you out right there. If it comes all the way here, it will take us out. I don't want to risk beyond that. All right, that is on V25s. We are looking for this short move, then we can anticipate buys from that support level according to daily and H4 time frame. This one right here. All right, enough of that. Let's now go to V75. V75, we wanted a pullback here. If we don't see one, the sell to continue. I told you we can, since the H4 had started, we can enter, but it was a bit risky for us to do that because it could have easily given us this pullback. That's why we couldn't enter at all. Yeah, but remember, it left this fair value gap. That tells us that it is likely going to come for it. Then it continues with sells. Be aware of that and know anytime it will give us this pullback for the sell to come later. So be ready for that when it happens. In fact, it is likely to happen now. Yeah, let's go to M5. Yeah, it's likely to happen now. If you are a scalper and you see a reversal signal on M5, then you can enter the buy to reach that level that we've marked. That would be your TP. 50% of that fair value gap would be your TP. Then come in with sales after that. J10, J50, I mean. J50 is a weird one. It's likely to first come again to this support and then go for the buy. I told you we are anticipating consolidation around here. This move is likely to continue until it gets enough momentum to break out here. So just be ready for anything here. J25, I entered my buys. We've entered buys here. We're looking for buys to come all the way up here. Currently we are in some floating losses. Our stop loss is down below here, so let's be patient and wait for this market to work out. J10, we're still anticipating a little bit of more sales to come and mitigate 50% of this fair value gap and then go for the buy. The buy momentum is still on. We are still looking for buys. Don't look for sales, look for buys. And then lastly was gold. Gold, we need to anticipate sales, but we have a break of structure here, but we cannot anticipate buys. Why? Because the signal coming in from daily time frame and H4 is overbought, meaning sellers should be coming in. But if we don't see something like this, then you cannot enter sales. You have to see a reversal signal on lower time frame, probably M15, for you to make up your mind for the sales. That's it for today. Hope you had a great time with me, and I know we are going to make some money. Please be assured that you can only look for maximum of 3 trades. If you don't try to trade all these other assets, don't try to trade them. V25 has taken us out. That was quick. Wait, was it V25? Yes, it was V25. It has taken us out. How? Oh yes, we put our stop loss near, so it has taken us out there. So I have to wait still. I cannot enter buys yet. It has to come here. It's not yet ready for the buys. Yes, it has taken us out there, but it has to come for this. So before that, I was saying that you don't have to trade all the assets. You cannot trade all the assets. You have to look for about every day to look for at least 3 assets that you focus on. Don't focus on all assets. Look for like about 3 of those that you can focus on and then trade those 3. Trade those 3. If you get one trade that can give you a target of the day from those 3, then you focus on that one trade. It's better than looking at all these other assets. That is not trading. That is I don't even have a term to call that. You need to have your minds focused on specific assets. When you are trading every day, you get a specific asset, or the better thing is to get 1 or 2 specific assets that you trade entirely. You don't look at any other thing. For us as a channel, we are analyzing all these other assets, but you as an individual, you can choose to pick one asset or two assets and focus on those as you are trading, and you look at those to look for entries in those two assets. Let me wish you guys a good day. Happy trading. See you tomorrow same time, 10:30 to 11:30, and of course I wish you success in this week as we studied. Have a good day and a good week. Bye bye.